to resume my recording. All right. So thank you so much, firstly, to join me in this session. I think I'm doing this session a talk after a long time, and I think this is the first talk I'm doing after I have shifted to US. Can you guys see my screen? Is my screen visible to you all?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So I just wanted to quickly check. I know Maria, I know Meghna. So Brinda, I just wanted to check with you. Are you a new mom as well? I think she's having some trouble and she's not able to unmute herself. So she sent something on the text chat. Okay. All right. I think we'll talk after the session gets over and let people join. So Kanya, happy to see you. And I know you're a new mom. So, all right. So here it is. So the reason I wanted to do this session, especially for lactation, is because of late I think I've been receiving a lot of inquiries about, from people, especially from new mothers who reach out to me and ask me that can I do a weight loss program after my delivery, and when is the right time to start. So I thought, I think this particular segment needs a lot of information, and I thought I should cover this up. So first and foremost, the lactation period, or the time when you start a new phase of your life, which is post pregnancy. That phase is what we call a lactation period, right? And it goes on till you breastfeed your child. So the ideal time, so a new mother should never try to work on any weight loss diet, at least till she is 5 months post pregnancy, 5 or 6 months post pregnancy. Okay, so that's probably an ideal time. Also, new mothers should, even if when you're starting after 5 to 6 months, you should not be very aggressive with your diet. So you have to go really, really slow. And a mother's body need a lot of nutrient stores. So irrespective of whether your goal is to lose weight after your pregnancy, or and get back in shape, you still have to follow certain diet protocols, because the nutrient stores of a mother's body absolutely depletes after the childbirth, and we need to replenish all of that. So this is what I'm planning to share in today's session. If you guys want to ask me something, because I'm not able to see the chat window right now, so probably you guys can unmute yourself and share it with me. Okay, so we go on. Okay, 1 second. Right, I'm so bad with handling all of this, so let's just check if I can. Okay, my screen doesn't look able to. 1 second, guys. I think I. Okay. Ah, all right. I got that. Okay. So what is going to be the outline of today's talk is nutrition needs during lactation, benefits of breastfeeding, and I'm going to share a sample diet plan at the end of this session. Now, this is not a very long talk, and I know for India it's quite late, and also it's a working day for us in US at this time. But I thought, to basically come with with the time, which basically suits both the sides, because I have a lot of Indian clients, with my living in India for so many years. So I thought I have to do something, and it has to be uh, convenient for both. So, so yeah. So what is nutrition during lactation? So childbirth marks the end of pregnancy and the beginning of a new set of parental responsibilities, including feeding the newborn. So that's something that is very natural, and something that we all have to go through this process after pregnancy. The mammary glands secrete milk for this purpose, and I'll tell you how it does it in the later slides. A woman decides to breastfeed, offers her infant an array of nutrients and protective factors to support optimal health and development. So this is again something which is already known to most of us, that why mother's milk is considered to be the most, nutrient dense nutrition for the infant. So mother's milk has a lot of good things which basically supports in the growth of the infant. So I will say that how does our hormones work? So there are two hormones that produces breast milk. So on the anterior part of the pituitary gland, the prolactin releasing hormone, the PRH, okay, it basically stimulates the mammary gland, and it initiates the process of milk production and to sustain the milk production. So this is our, in our the PRH, the prolactin release hormone, which is there, and it signals the body to basically release milk and to sustain, to keep milk, okay, and to keep up with the production of milk. And the oxytocin is basically on the exterior part of the pituitary gland. And the work of oxytocin is basically to stimulate the uterus and asking the uterus to contract and the mammary glands to eject milk. All right. So there are two hormones which work parallelly when a mother is lactating. And these two hormones are very, very high, and working in its full fledged condition when a mother is lactating. Now, a lot of times the milk production isn't much. So, you will see the doctors giving you certain supplements so that the milk production increases. It's basically, they give you certain hormonal supplements, which basically initiates the process of prolactin release and oxytocin release. Yeah. So I will have a slide where if you guys have any questions, you can ask me at the end. Now, what are the benefits of breastfeeding? So we know there are like tons of benefits of breastfeeding. So first, for the infants, it provides a balance of nutrients with high bioavailability. The bioavailability of human milk is very high. What is the meaning of bioavailability? It's basically the absorption of nutrients from a particular food. So if we say you're drinking a glass of milk, so what is the bioavailability of that milk? How much of protein, calcium, and essential minerals are actually getting absorbed? How much is there, and how much you are able to absorb in your body? So the mother's milk or human milk, okay, it provides a balance of nutrients with very high. So the bioavailability of that milk is very high, and hence the nutrient consumption of the milk in the infant is also high and good. It provides hormones that promote physiological development in the for the infant, improves cognitive development in the infant, protects against a variety of infections, which we know it builds stronger immunity. And it basically, mother's milk carries all the things that is needed to feed the baby for the initial 3 months, at least for the initial 3 months. It reduces the risk of sudden infant death syndrome. Now, this is something probably I don't know how much of you have heard about it. So this is called SIDS. A lot of times there is no known reason why SIDS happen, but it is usually told that it can be because there has been maybe the child has inhaled a lot of carbon dioxide. Like, for example, if the child is sleeping upside down and the nose is covered with, and the nose is got pressed, okay? So a lot of times, and the child constantly inhales his carbon dioxide. So that also causes. So it reduces the risk. Mother's milk reduces the risk of SIDS, protects against any chronic diseases such as diabetes, makes food allergies less likely. Yeah. So these are some basic benefits of human milk for the infant. Now, how does it help a mother? The first and foremost, the thing that breastfeeding does is it contracts the uterus. So after delivery, because our uterus is enlarged and it stays enlarged for some time, right? So as you keep on feeding your child, the uterus starts contracting, and of course the stomach size starts reducing. It lengthens birth and pregnancy intervals, yes, because you continue breastfeeding, you usually don't get your periods, and so it lengthens the pregnancy interval. It conserves iron stores. Yes, it does conserve a lot of iron stores in the body, because when you're breastfeeding, your body is absorbing iron from the food that you're eating. It reduces risk of breast cancer, and it protects the bone density. So it's usually said that the bone density improves when you are breastfeeding, and you are most likely not so susceptible to osteoporosis early. Of course, that is something which is something very common, which comes to women at a later stage in their life. But in general, if you keep on breastfeeding, the calcium stores also increases in your body, and hence your bone density is intact, and that is it doesn't reduce. So the mother who chooses to breastfeed her infant should continue to eat nutrient-dense food throughout lactation. Now, this is not rocket science. This we have been seeing and learning all our life. Now, I have seen this, in a lot of women these days, wherein after pregnancy, because they don't feel good about their body, so they kind of start rejecting food, thinking that it is high calorie. But let me tell you, if you actually think and look back, okay, and especially in Indian culture, if you see and look back in all the, regions, post pregnancy, the mother is fed, food which is high in fat, high in, like milk and basically calcium, and food which is rich in iron, or dry fruits. So these were the usual things that in olden days people have always done, and the reason is basically mother's body need a lot of nutrient in the body, because everything gets depleted after the child's birth. So you need to eat to get back the stores, the nutrient stores in your body, right? So it is not a good idea to basically start rejecting food as soon as you deliver, thinking that it's going to add on to more kilos. Of course, there has to be a calculation, which I'm going to explain in these slides, but you cannot start rejecting. So please eat if you want a healthy lactation period, if you want your uterus to contract, if you want your infant, your child to, have a healthy immune system. So a nursing mother produces 750 ml of milk per day. So this is an average what a mother produces. Now, of course, in some women, they produce a lot more milk because they have very high stimulating prolactin, or in some cases, there are women who can't produce much milk, and then they need to take doctor's assistants to help them for milk secretion. An adequate diet is needed in breastfeeding to support maternal nutritional needs. So again, the same thing. You need to eat. You need to eat. You just cannot come to, self-decide and then you say, okay, I'm done. My pregnancy is done. My weight gain has happened, and now it's time for me to come back to shape. So please don't hurry. Please don't rush. Don't do that. Food which is rich in folate, iron, vitamin B12, zinc, all these minerals are extremely important for a mother's body for production of milk. Vitamin D, calcium, it should be included in your diet. So I have a sample diet plan at the end, which basically covers most of it, but that's a sample and that's not a customized one. So what is the energy need? So I'm going to explain you how much of water, how much of vitamins and energy do you need per day to sustain a healthy lactation, all right? So a minimum intake of 1800 kcal per day is needed for successful lactation, okay? This is the bare minimum that a mother should eat. And to produce an adequate supply of milk, a woman needs an average of 500 kcal extra. So suppose you are eating, say, 1800 plus, you have to add another 500 to it. So basically 2300 kcal per day is needed for a mother who's lactating. Energy requirement during lactation, that is also high. So you will see, people who breastfeed, they kind of have very high metabolism because the body needs a lot of energy. The secretion of milk production is very, very high. So for the first 6 months to basically replenish the energy that is needed for breastfeeding is around 330 kcal per day. Okay. And after that, from the second from the second term, which is the next 6 months, you need another 400 kcal per day. So this is basically added in your 1800 plus 500 kcal. And this is just an explanation that why you need extra calorie to sustain a healthy lactation period. The protein requirement in the body for a healthy mother, you guys can take a screenshot, take a picture if you want to. So the protein requirement for a mother during lactation is 1.3 grams per kg body weight per day. So if you are 60, so 60 multiplied by 1.3 grams is going to give you the total protein that you need to consume every single day. Whether you're a vegetarian, non-vegetarian, you have to ensure that you're eating that much of protein. Water intake, hydration is again very, very important because a mother who is lactating, she becomes dehydrated, and that is not the right thing to happen. So minimum, a mother has to consume 3.8 liters of water per day. So this is like the basics because we need water to basically there's a lot of energy expenditure that is happening when you are lactating, and we do get dehydrated. So it's very important to replenish your hydration needs of the body. The vitamins and minerals, nutritional inadequacies reduces the quantity and the quality of breast milk. So the minerals, as I was explaining in the past, the folate, vitamin D, calcium, B12, all these are needed for the quality and the quantity of the breast milk. Maternal bones lose some of their density during lactation if calcium intake is inadequate. Like I just said, previously, that we kind of lose all the nutrient stores from our body after childbirth, right? Because the infant has been feeding on you. You have been feeding the infant, and infant has been consuming everything from you. So after the childbirth, you need to replenish all these into your body, and hence you will have to increase your calcium intake so that your bone density doesn't get affected. A balanced diet can help provide all the nutrients without having to take vitamin mineral supplements. especially for those who have good health record. Now, this is something which, if you are able to consume naturally and then you're able to support your lactation, great. But then sometimes the doctors do give us supplements, which is also a very good thing, so that, if you're not able to consume that much from the natural sources, the supplements are basically helping you reserve the stores of your nutrients. Okay. And some may need iron supplements to refill the depleted iron stores. Of course, right? The iron is also coming out. There's a lot of bleeding that happens after pregnancy, and the iron level comes down. So a lot of time, supplementation is given, and that is the reason folate is so important in the diet, right? So maternal iron supply to the growing fetus, that causes the iron depletion, and blood loss during childbirth. So these are the two very big factors during childbirth, which basically depletes the iron content in the body. So this is just a sample diet plan. If you guys want, you can just take a picture of this. So early morning, as soon as you wake up, you can have 2 teaspoons of ghee with a half teaspoon of organic turmeric powder. Mix it together, eat it, and then drink a glass of warm water. Now, the ghee is basically the first thing in the morning. It gives you, it's basically a fat-soluble vitamin, and it absorbs a lot of nutrients in the body. So this is a great way to start your morning if you're lactating. Then you have to eat a wholesome breakfast. So I have given options like omelette or chila. You can have omelette with a whole wheat toast. Then you can have a yogurt, which is a low-fat yogurt, but it has calcium in it. You have to have berries, which has antioxidants in it and fiber in it. That's again something which is needed. And few nuts, which is your healthy fat and some protein content, right? Mid-morning, and you will see lactating mothers feel very hungry. It's natural because so much of energy expenditure is happening. Their metabolism is actually high. So they feel hungry. And every time when you eat food which basically gives you satisfaction, your satiety level is taken care when you are consuming food in every meal. And every time when you eat, it has to be a substantial food rather than eating something which is like, those snacky kind of things, like say, which we usually keep in Indian houses, those say bhujia or biscuits, or those are the things which you should completely avoid. Those are not food which is substantial, and it's not going to add any value to you. So every time when you eat, make sure that it's a substantial food which is actually adding value to your body, right? So mid-morning, you can have half avocado with low-fat milk, or plant milk if you don't drink milk. Or you can have 1 apple with peanut butter. Or you can have buttermilk, which is basically the chas that we call, with 1 tablespoon of sattu. All right, so that's going to add fiber, protein, healthy fat, all put together. And it's a great drink as well because it keeps you full for a very long time. Lunch is usually, you can either have rice, you can even have millet or rotis. Add ghee in your rotis or put ghee in your rice. So ghee is something very, very important. Don't cook in ghee. Always put ghee on top of your food, right? And have an array of vegetables. So you can have a mixed vegetable, which basically covers all different colors, right? You can even have spinach dal and put a lot of vegetables into it, and that can be an option for you. And you can eat whole moong dal, which is again high in fiber, great source of protein amongst all the dals. So this particular dal is something which I always recommend. For the evening snack, again, every time you look at these options which I have given, you will see all my plans, all my options it has good carbs, it has protein, it has calcium, it has healthy fat, right? And so every option that you see is basically have covered all these parameters. So an evening snack can be a whole wheat wrap, or you can, if you don't get a low carb wrap, you can actually make it. Or if you don't, if you it's absolutely fine if you don't get time for making a soft taco or a wrap for yourself. You just take one plain chapati and stuff it with some spinach and cheese. And you can blanch the spinach, squeeze the water out, put the spinach, put some cheese into it, and then you fold it and you put it in a these toasters, and it gives you an amazing taste, and you can just have that. You can drink a cup of tea, or I usually say no coffee during lactation, but you can enjoy a cup of tea or maybe a herbal tea or anything that you like. And dinner is also pretty much the same, wherein you can have early dinner and have food which is light on your stomach. Don't go to bed with very stuffy, because you might feel, because a lot of people suffer from constipation too during pregnancy. I'm sorry, during lactation. So if don't fill up your stomach, with heavy food which is difficult for you to digest. So don't eat chana, chole, and all of that in the night. Eat simple food which is you can digest easily. So either a dalia khichdi or a rice khichdi, and add some protein to it. So maybe a paneer bhurji. And if you are eating chicken, so you can have 200 grams of chicken breast grilled, and have some brown rice along with it, and put some little butter into it. Okay, so fat is not going to harm you, and it is absolutely safe for you to eat good fat during this time because you need it. And before sleep, you have a little bit of turmeric in nutmeg in warm milk, which basically helps you to, turmeric is great. It's an anti-inflammatory. So if there is any pain, any inflammation in the body, that just takes care. And nutmeg gives you a very nice, restful sleep, which we are always deprived of when we are lactating. So a summary of what we just spoke: energy and nutrient needs during pregnancy and lactation are generally higher. We know that. A few nutrients important for pregnant women are folate, iron, vitamin B12, zinc, vitamin D, and calcium. Breastfeeding are beneficial to both the infant and the lactating mother. Do you guys have any questions? You can unmute yourself and you can ask me if you have any questions. Okay, so I'll just go ahead. Okay, I really need feedback from you guys. Yes, Sukanya, you have something to ask. Please ask.
Then when will we start workout?
See, workout you can start after 6 months. Okay. And the diet restriction also, if you are still lactating. So a lot of mothers, they stop lactating after 6 months. They just put the child on because they want to get back to work, and also they basically stop breastfeeding and they put the child in out top feed. So you can start working out probably from 3 months onwards, but not like exercises which is too strenuous for you. So you can start with your stretches, you can do yoga, you can do brisk walking. All these things are fine. That is fine after 3 months. But if you want to really get back and set up a program for yourself, don't do it till it's 6 or 7 months. Yeah. So yeah, I think do please write a feedback about the talk that you heard today, whether you liked it or not, whether whether it added any value to you or not. We will share the review link on through your email. Please do the favor to us. So yeah, so this is the last slide where I just say what I do apart from apart from what I just spoke about. So I do give one-on-one customized diet plans for 3 months. It's a program that I do. And I have also recently started one-on-one customized consultation and diet per visit. So it can either be a home visit or it can be a telehealth. So yeah, so that's about it. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you so much for being there. And I know it's quite late for you guys. Thank you, Sukanya, for being here. Okay, I think, okay. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Sukanya. Have a great evening and a good night to you. And we'll again talk later. Bye, everyone.